And hello again to another episode of CBD Blogger. Today we're talking to Andy as a follow-up to his testing of Orange County gummies to help with his arthritic knees. My name is Matt.
And I'm Jonathan. I don't know whether you've seen that previous video, but what we'd set out for Andy to try was basically starting at a lower level of gummies, and then had a little bit of a program where he could steadily increase that dosage and to see really how it worked out for you. So now's a great opportunity to get a sort of sense of really both about what did you feel about taking the gummies and actually has it made a difference?
Right, well, thanks, gents. Great to be back again. So, I started munching my way through tubs of gummies, which was, to be fair, as I've said before, nice flavours, so no issue there. I thought they were possibly a bit high in sugar, but I've checked that out and they're not as high as I thought. So I'm actually, because I don't want to have too much sugar in my bloodstream and everything. So that was all good. So I started off on the low strength ones that you gave me. To be fair, there's not really a benchmark I can use because throughout the time I've had arthritis in my knees, I have good days, bad days, etc., etc. When I was taking the low strength ones, I really couldn't see any difference at all. And I was still getting quite a lot of pain. But when I moved on to the higher strength ones, as I assume more gets absorbed into the system, I noticed the fact, there's three things I noticed. First of all, they weren't aching quite as much. So they'll always ache, but I've noticed not quite as much. So I would say that's one thing I would definitively say probably worked. It's still ache, but it helped a bit. The thing I can't benchmark is the fact when I have a flare-up, believe you me, I know when it's going to flare up, and sometimes I can't, I say not walk, but I'm immobile for 3 months. Since I've been taking them for the several weeks, I've had a couple of flare-ups, but they've not lasted more than a day or two, which I know for a fact when that happens, I dread it. But I dreaded it both times it's happened, but nothing much came of it. Now, it could be coincidence because that has happened before, right? Mm-hmm. So I've had that, but to go what now? It was probably, 6, 7, 8 weeks without anything that's worrying me. In other words, I get out of bed, it hurts, and it goes. I take some pills, and it goes, and it does not reoccur. Is that due to the CBD? I couldn't hand on heart tell you that. But as I said, overall, the achiness is slightly less. And the third thing I've noticed is that when I get the pain, I know it goes right, it's right in there, either side of the knee. Look at those lovely knees. I get one either side there, and that's where it starts. It basically starts there. It might be attributable to foods, too much exercise. I don't know, but it always starts there, puffs up, and then it works its way around the knee, whichever knee that might be. And the pain is unbelievable. And what I can say is I have had that again, but it's gone away. So I know.
But you've had 2 flare-ups in the time you've been on the gummies.
Correct.
Would you have expected to have 2 flare-ups, one after the other, and for both of them to be fairly calmed down after a couple of days?
I would say, so if I had, say, 10 flare-ups so have 1 a month for a year, 7 of those would be bad, right?
Okay.
The others will probably last anything up to maybe a week. Now, both these flare-ups, could have gone either way, but they only lasted, I think the first one was 2 days, the second one was 1 day. Wow. So it's like, is that the CBD? So if I carry on taking these the rest of my life and never got another flare-up, I can hand on heart say it's worked.
Right.
Because I can't tell you the pain or the type of pain, but it's just like really bad toothache, stomachache, headache in your knees. And they swell up like balloons. Yeah. Both times they have swollen up, but they've gone down again very quickly. And that, I take the aspirin and paracetamol.
Yeah.
And whether that means it's worked, I don't know. But if I personally would carry on taking them to see what happened.
Okay.
Now,
so anyone landing on this particular video and they haven't seen any of our other videos, we probably want to make clear that we're approaching this from interested consumer. There isn't an awful lot of there is absolutely zero scientific approach to this. We're sort of looking for anecdotal evidence, basically. You can talk about the science, the facts and the figures all day long, but at the end of the day, you take them, does it improve your quality of life? So currently, you would say that it's a leading question, isn't it?
Well,
but it has improved your quality of life.
But I mean,
yeah, I mean,
seemingly.
yeah, I mean, possibly, yeah. I mean,
But I think one of the things that you also we talked about earlier is said that you had actually had a week where you stopped taking them.
that's what I was going to say. Yeah,
Yeah, because tell us a bit about
So,
that then.
I went to Spain, obviously, because that's what you do when you've got arthritis, to get some sun on your knees. I went to Spain. I didn't take them. I was there for 5-6 days. I didn't take them. I had no flare-ups, but they ached more. Whether that was because I was playing golf, I don't know. I can't tell you whether that's it or not, but I just noticed them in the mornings a bit stiffer. I've gone back on them, and it's sort of gone back to where it was before.
Yeah, I mean, the golf thing's a fair point, but you're active, so you're not sort of inactive and avoiding any kind of general walking about and you're active at work. So
I'm
the
doing
golf.
a lot of,
Yes, you did the golf, but it's not like you went to golf having from sitting in a chair for 3 minutes.
and I wouldn't expect when you're swinging a club and doing all that and walking that, I'd expect that to happen. But since I've come back, I've been walking a dog 2-3 times a day, and it's not made it any worse. So if I didn't take those CBDs, I might be in exactly the same situation as I am now.
Right.
I cannot tell you if that's fact or not, but I'm in my own myself thinking appears to be working.
Right.
But
And
I don't know.
before you started on the gummies from Orange County, you hadn't had CBD before.
Oh no, not at all. No,
exactly,
no,
which is
not-
why
not-
we asked you. Partly.
Yeah, that's right. So I've never done it.
So as a consumer who has an ailment that you're always looking for something that's going to help.
Yeah, exactly.
You're partly converted now.
Yeah, I think I've always had a positive mindset about these anyway. Because
Right.
I've read a lot of reports, and I've read quite a fair amount of people that say that it works and everything. A lot of testimonials, but the proof is there. At the moment, I'm going to keep taking these.
Right. Okay.
And
So actually, because that's the other thing we're going to come on to, weren't we? Just to say that actually, gummies is one way, but there's also the rest of the range of products.
Yeah.
Things like and obviously something we're interested to get more feedback on is things like the balms and oils as well. So and I think that's what we're talking about. Are you sufficiently sort of positive about it to say actually I'd like to try something else?
yeah, so there's two things really. I think as far as the knees are concerned, I've got no real benchmark about the fact. Apart from the fact going forward, it seems working. Although with my first one, I play a lot of guitar and I've got arthritis in my hands. I know with my knees, I have good days and bad days. With my hands, it's constant. It's just if I have it's just always there.
Do you think taking the gummies has had any impact on how your hands feel?
No, I can categorically say that 100%.
Okay.
They have not. It's not made any difference to my hands, but I believe it has on these. But again,
So maybe we could find. Maybe we could find a product that you could use that is more directed at the hands.
Exactly.
Like a hand cream maybe, or something along those lines.
so it's almost like, I don't know whether you're allowed to take gummies and whatever, how much you can take. But I was thinking if they carried on with those and that was constant, if I come back in 8 weeks and I'm still the same, I'd say, do you know what?
Yeah.
That's the way to go. Yeah.
It could be balm in there, whatever. But with my hands, because I know my hands are plateaued, as in they are never going to. Well, they'll never get better. They might do. No, the fact that the hands are always going to hurt, and that's it, and that's fact. And they don't get better, and they don't get worse. They just always hurt. So I know I now have that. I've had that benchmark now. I would say probably 3 years, like that.
So we need to find an appropriate CBD product for you to use directly on your hands.
It'd be great to try it because I can actually then. I will keep as I said, a diary of what I'm taking, and I cannot clench my fists. Now, if I could actually clench my fists, that would be marvellous, and the swelling on the knuckles go down. A very bent finger there. I'm not saying it won't cure it, but if the pain's less and I'm able to clench my fists, taking that, I know that it would be nothing else but the CBD that have done that.
But, and like you say, probably with the knees, if you've got something that you can continue with. Like you said, the longer the test period and
and that's what it's all about.
Then actually, the more convinced or not you could be as to whether it's working.
Absolutely. Okay. I'm really cynical as the rest of us, and if it didn't work, I'll be back here saying I don't like the taste. There's too much sugar in them, and they don't work. But at the moment, I've said I can possibly that, you know, at the moment, touch wood, I'm okay.
But we need
Sounds
longer,
good.
so we do. So basically, then we do now have we've got several short-term testers. We now have a long-term tester,
Which,
and we're going to move on to phase 2 with Andy.
No,
Yeah.
Okay.
and I think
that's
yeah,
good.
exactly. So
Brilliant.
I'm really interested in it because if I can actually really be convinced that my hands are feeling, let's get in the morning, and everyone has stiff joints and everything as you get older, but you know, you just sometimes you think I just can't move them, and you have to get them moving, which is great. But if I'm waking up and thinking, oh my goodness, that straight away I will know that will be the CBD with no external contributing factors.
Fantastic.
Brilliant.
Well, we didn't have to ask Andy many questions.
Sorry,
We didn't know what to expect then, but clearly you.
If I get arthritic jaw, that'd be a benefit.
we won't be looking for anything to calm that down. But yes, so we're going to have Andy back, and I think what we'll do is now we'll reach out and see what we can get him on next. And see what his
That'd be really
his thoughts
interesting.
are further down the road.
Yeah,
So
fantastic.
thank you very much. If you
Pleasure.
like
Thank
us, if you like Andy, you probably like Andy. Give him a like. Give us a subscribe. That'd be fantastic. It helps boost everything. And it's bye from Matt.
And from me, Jonathan.
Cheers. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.
We'll see you next time.
See you soon.
Bye bye.
Okay.
That's all right.
I think so.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah, I just had to, I mean, I'm crikey. I'm thinking this must be like talking to me.
No, it is.
I mean, you get the two of you in a room.